Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting us a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Membership start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. In addition to that, if you are interested in supporting us a little bit further or joining our community as well as one of our games or multiple games if you really like to do that stuff, you can do that through our Patreon, which is listed down in the description below. But let's get into the action, everybody. Alrighty then, Tolsha, tell us what happened last week or 2 weeks ago.
Well, the last time we were here, we commenced our plan of Clover and John to go and steal the item for our client, which, well, we found out later was an orb of chaos. Gunther went along with them, acting as the physical help, and their plan went off without a hitch. They were able to convince the mage that they were there under orders of Fritz, his boss, a Volstrucker, and we were able to get that orb of chaos onto our cart with Gunther being invisible while doing so, thanks to our friend. After getting the orb and the mage under our cart, which was a bit of an unexpected turn, we quickly set off, leaving the ruins and the archaeological site. We waited a few hours with him taking the time to set up his notes along the inside of our cart. And he really was a nice guy, which made the fact that we just kind of knocked him out and hog-tied him and left him on the side of the road made us feel kind of like, are we the baddies? But we let him live. He scared Bounce in the forest after Gunther turned into a bear and scared him. Doesn't have his magical focus or his spellbook on him anymore. And we kept the notes for this orb. With 3 weeks of travel, we decided to, well, some of us decided to do what we can to figure out what this orb can do. Mirian tried his hand at first, seeing if he could get to control it with no luck. Lily tried twice the next week. Nothing happening the first time, and the second time causing it to rain blood. And then I tried it last, which I was able to push myself through the chaos of the orb and find that it lets you alter possibility. After this, we started to approach the walls of Rexentrum, where, thankfully, through our experimentation, we found out that the item will react if magic is cast directly on it, but things that don't directly target it will not cause it to react. So, giving the notes of the mage, our bag of holding, and the orb of chaos to Gunther, he turned into a dog as we approached the checkpoint with our paperwork in hand that was made for us by our employer. Time to see if it's any good.
Alrighty. So, as you all are entering to the front gates, you all are stopped immediately on the road. It's fairly late into the afternoon, not quite dusk yet. And these Crown's Guard are wandering around. There are multiple caravans and carts all around you that are being stopped, and the individuals are filtering off of them with expedience as they have guards looking in the back, holding up these reflective mirrors attached to sticks underneath the carts to examine anything that might lie there. and are being incredibly cautious and scrutinous over what is coming into the city. As you are up waiting, I would like a perception check from each of you. All right, there's one of you. We're waiting on one of you.
Yep.
All right, so not Clover. You all notice, just like not Jimmy from the old campaign. Not Clover. You all notice that these individuals that are examining seem to be fairly adept soldiers. You would not even classify these as guards of a town. The amount of time that you have spent in different areas and locations, you've managed to discern somebody who has actual combat training and somebody who is taught how to apprehend a pickpocket in the street. These people definitely have the presence of capturers and adequate challenges for the average individual. In addition to that, up upon the wall, as you are watching it, one of the ballistas seems to be rotating around past your group. Not you in particular, but the road that you are on, the path into the front gates. And it's not really lingering. It's more being prepared just in case, whereas the other ones are aimed out at the fields for any potential sieges. And two of them are aimed at the sky for some reason. Outside of all of that, one of the caravans seems to pass a coin purse to their examiner. They are only about 3 carts ahead of all of you. And the examiner quickly pockets it and does not look underneath their cart. Now, that grouping moves forward, and they have enough soldiers here that they do them in sets of 3, leaving all of you in the back as another group of these Crown's Guard wander over and begin examining your cart. All of you, please evacuate your cart immediately.
We'll step off the cart.
The excavator's already standing over to the side with his paperwork in hand, arms crossed over him, just, hanging out, relaxing, being cool.
I'm gonna leave a small patch of gold in my seats as I get out.
And in dog shape, I'm walking up to the examiner and just wagging my tail and just...
I want you to roll persuasion at advantage because I'm your DM.
Right, okay.
11. He'll pat you on the head, but just, moves past.
Yep.
As he begins looking around, the others are underneath the cart, and one of them points at something underneath, and another one walks over and starts looking at it, and then they turn towards all of you. You all know that Lily has to be silent in this situation because she would immediately out herself as having, very adept abilities that are not common in the Empire. There seems to be some odd mechanisms attached to the bottom of your cart.
Yes, those are for a smoother ride. They're simple springs inside of metal tubes.
The lead examiner looks over towards the chair that John left the coin in and then looks over at you, John, raising an eyebrow.
Everything all right?
He looks back at the coin and then back at you. He seems to be trying to communicate, is this an offer?
Well, I'm not going to move from my position. I'm not going to say anything overtly. I'm just going to crane my head ever so slightly, looking at the pouch, and then just like slowly nodding my head.
He'll jump into the cart and very slightly pull it and put it into one of his pockets. I assume that this is perfectly legal. There's nothing about any unique artificing. That would be unusual for us. Smiles. What are you doing coming to Rexingtrum? He looks up at Mirian, but not from around here.
The boys with myself, seeking asylum of sorts, hoping to just make a few coin and stay safe within the heart of the Empire. Bit dangerous out on the countryside now, especially with those brutes threatening to invade us.
I need his paperwork.
Oh, should be with it, of course. He got none of our paperwork yet, I take it? They're just investigating the wagon?
Yes. They've
Okay.
just been investigating the wagon, and
Okay.
your quote-unquote bribe is enough for all of you to get a pass, but given who the Empire is, Mirian still has to show his paperwork.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reach into my vest and pull out the documents. These are ours, and I believe our traveling companions have theirs as well.
I've commissioned all of them to work with me when I was excavating a little bit. Here's my official documentation. Here is the list of my employer, and these are our findings. You will see that we managed to uncover some rare pottery that we anticipate trying to get, well, appraised. If you are interested in any of this pottery, you are more than happy to just ask. And he hands over his paperwork, and you notice he has a pouch as well that looks fairly packed that he hands over with that paperwork to him.
You know, the nature of the cart makes moving such fragile equipment a lot more doable.
Goes through it. You will roll an investigation against your 26.
These are the most legitimate documents I've ever seen.
Almost too legitimate.
Oh.
He looks
All
over
right,
at
good.
you. He looks over at you, Marion, and raises his eyebrow. You are really from Hoppadook.
Most
Nah.
recently, yes.
He takes the paperwork and hands it back over to you, John, and over to the excavator. There is currently a curfew in town. It is emplaced at the ring of the third bell of the evening. That would be 10 o'clock. When you hear that, you have 10 minutes to be indoors in an establishment with your rooms already paid for. If you are not, you will be apprehended and brought to a holding cell until the shift change in the morning will allow you to leave. There won't be any trouble in the Empire. Sorry, in Rexingtrum.
Of course.
Greatly appreciate
Takes a
you
step.
So,
He takes a step back, and the other examiners all look at him. He nods, and you begin moving forward. Gunther,
Hmm?
you being a little less attended to compared to everybody else, you and Tolsha both notice over the city two individuals flying around deeper into the city itself in the air.
Okay. Does it? Do they have any apparent way of flying, or is it like just magical flight?
It looks magical. There's no apparent reason for them to be flying otherwise. No wings or anything such as that.
I whisper over to Tosha. Just, do you see those?
And
The one guard's eyes go wide. Did that dog talk?
I just
Yes,
stare
dogs
at him.
talk. Now shut up.
And then when the other guard looks away, I'm just gonna nod slowly.
Roll me an intimidation roll.
Just really confuse him.
Oh God, that man's gonna have to take some weeks off. Of I think I've been working too many hours. I just. Go ahead and roll it. Intimidation. Let's see what happens to this man.
Oh.
All right, 11. He's a little freaked out, and is that everything is in order, sir? And you all get back into your cart and go over towards the front gates. As you are getting over and you're much closer to them, you notice the two carts in front of you. As they pass by the boundary of the gate, there's an arcane shimmer and shift. And the examiner who was with all of you moves over towards the gates. And as you are coming through, he seems to bump against the lever on the wall, and the shimmer does not happen as you pass through.
Oh, interesting.
Remember, the city is ran by archmages. They have protection and protocols. Once you are deeper into the city, you look around at the beautiful and magnificent center of Wildmount, a location that is strikingly beautiful and well constructed, given the state of how you understand this state is. You look around at multiple different shops that all have glorious, beautiful goods inside of them of different variety, rares, and magical aptitude. You see they have constructed shops lying in the middle of the streets, just in the way of everything, apparently with random permits for alchemical uses that would be incredibly rare and hard to come by from anywhere else in the world except maybe Iman. You see they have multiple smithies all around the city being constructed or being commissioned to work on a multitude of different sets of armors and some more exclusive fine wares for individuals. There's even a handful of shops that seem to be, well, designed for the basic arcanist that are closer to the Shimmering Ward, which Mirian at minimum would understand, as well as John, of course, that the Shimmering Ward is where the most powerful, influential people in the entire empire live, including the academy grounds to their version of the Lyceum. Further past that, you see there is a handful of different varying shops around you that have trinkets that look odd, out of place, and a little dusty that seem to be more of a curious variety than anything else. And you see, as you are moving through everything, that you enter right outside the shimmering ward, where you see the academy grounds further past one of the gates. This large, beautiful set of colleges and different buildings and dorms for all that call this place their home and the location that they scholastically aspire to learn at. Welcome to Rexingtrum, everybody.
We made it to customs.
Now that you are deeper in, your guide jumps out of the cart and wipes a bead of sweat from his upper brow. Whew.
You act like that wasn't going to work, or how nervous you were.
Well, I always anticipate the worst, right?
That is fair. Expect the worst, but prepare to succeed.
Not to mention, given the status of what we are handling and bringing into the city, if that did not go well, I would have difficulty. But
I'm sure we all would.
claps his hands. We made it. We are fine. Now, there is a warehouse nearby that we will bring the carts and the horses over to. It will be monitored there, but not by anybody official. It shouldn't be touched. I'll just, as you all are standing there, he goes over to the side of it and scribes a symbol into the side of your cart. It appears to be a 5-sided shape that has swirling bits of rays going around the outside of it, just barely etched into the surface of the side of your cart.
I know thieves can't. What's that mean?
That is a
Is that
symbol to represent presumably one of the organizations out here. Roll me thieves can't using intelligence. Everybody proficient in thieves can't.
I can't.
Actually, thieves tools. Thieves tools utilizing intelligence.
Would Clover recognize the sign at all or no?
I made my statement. If that applies to you, then roll.
I do not have these tool proficiency. I'm just going to roll intelligence.
That's fine then. I whispered to both of you.
This guy hasn't, other than the passes, he hasn't paid us yet for the item, correct?
That is correct. You just now got into the town. And he does bring the cart over towards a warehouse that looks a little busted and broken down on the outside, but out front of it, there's some grilling humans that are a bit on the hairy forearm side and big chested and burly beards, and they kind of watch as all of you are pulling up, and he nods towards them, and one of them looks at the side of the cart, and they open up the gates as you all enter inside.
Would any of those people look familiar to me?
Familiar to you? No, not in particular.
Okay. Right.
As you enter into this warehouse, it does seem to just be a storage facility with a tremendous amount of goods and wares of exotic and mundane varieties. You go past several different rows of them, and you see that on the floor they are outlined in what appears to be different colored chalks, and periodically there are pillars holding up this warehouse that you see the chalks have written in designations to who owns which blocks in here. He finds a place between two of the blocks to pull in and park the cart, and all of you have to disperse from the back of the cart as the sides are too tight between all of these crates, and the horses are unleashed and allowed to frolic away into what appears to be a makeshift little den for all of them, with a lot of hay and a few blankets for them to utilize. It is not ideal for horses, but it will keep them out of sight and out of mind. Alrighty, then, whew. Good work, everybody. I have to admit, you all are, you surprised me with your efficiency. Usually when you deal with random contracts, it's, about 90-10. 90% of the time it's terrifying, and 10% of the time it works.
And what would you rate us?
Well, that's why it's 10.
I see.
So are we
You
planning
begin.
to
Yep.
unload the item for you here? Are you waiting for someone? Do we need to? What's
Well,
the?
I have to go bring the item over to the individual who commissioned me for it.
Oh,
And as soon as I bring it to them, I will be able to receive payment and give you your portion of this.
you want it now?
Want what now? Oh, the item. Yes, of course.
Yes. Well, okay. I will be back shortly. And I jump into the cart and change into human shape, and yeah, just go back outside. It always feels a bit, to stretch after. Okay, here it is.
Thank you.
Hand him the what was the shape of it again? Was it octagonal or 12-sided?
It
it was
was 8-sided, yes.
Yeah.
So he will take it. Very good. If all of you wait here, I will be right back. Probably in a couple of hours. And he starts walking away.
Hey, what? We're just gonna trust them to come back.
That would be my question to you all. How much do you care about the money? Because I'm pretty sure it's walking away.
Yeah, I care about the money. I care deeply about the money, actually.
Friend,
Yeah?
one of us will be escorting you. I'm sure you'd understand, given the situation. We're not very flush, and here in the capital, we're going to need a little more insurance that we can pay our way.
You don't trust me.
I mean,
That is fair. That is fair. Yes, good call. You all are welcome to come with me. Honestly, where I am going, if you only brought one of you, you should not feel safe that they would come back alive.
Then I
So
say
all
let
of
us
you may
all go.
follow. You may not get inside, of course. That would be up to them, not me. But at least you will get me to the establishment.
Then let us head that way.
Very good. He
If
begins
not,
walking through the warehouse. A good 15 paces ahead of all of you. He didn't wait up for all of you to catch up, though. With your extended legs, you are more than capable of catching up to him if you wish, or keeping that gap.
I'll catch up to him.
I'll catch up as well.
Yeah, me too.
Alrighty.
And Gunther has started to move surprisingly more quickly than he used to.
Almost like you have to slow yourself down to move with everyone else.
Yeah.
You walk through this warehouse that the building, maybe it's just because you were cusping on dusk, but it seems very large in here. Not really magically larger, but deceptively large given the layout of the city itself. You wander through here for a good 15 minutes, and at one point he begins whistling. And he does that about every minute as you're all walking. Those of you with Thieves' Cant would understand this is probably some personalized code for this organization, though you don't recognize exactly what that code is. And of course, everybody in the party other than Gunther and, so just Mirian, you understand Thieves' Cant is being used. So, as you are whistling and wandering through here, you get over towards a small little break room that appears to have been constructed into this large warehouse, where there's a handful of individuals sitting at a table playing cards with one another. They seem to be sitting on top of some of the goods and wares of other notable companies that have their personal goods dropped off here. Where you are in particular, all of you with a passive of 16 or higher would pick up that there's some noble names that designate this area in particular. Names that start with things like Sir or Madame. And they seem to be placed here in order to personally watch it and potentially other things. As you walk over towards them, you see 3 of them are human. One of them appears to be a half-orc, and the last one is a tabaxi individual who seems to be using their tail to swipe a card off the table when everybody looks at you and places it into their hand. One of the humans stands up. I think you're all lost. This probably isn't the direction for all of you. The direction always leads to somewhere, though, right? Walks over. Who do you got work with? I am here to see the captain. Captain's on watch right now. Not that captain. They all look at one another, and the tabaxi stands up and strolls over to you all, just barely over 6.5 feet tall, but incredibly lanky. She speaks outwards and has a leopard print style fur across her. And then I will be escorting all of you. That is correct. They assisted me in the matter and don't trust me. And all of them begin laughing in unison as he does, and the tabaxi just smiles and nods. Good caution. She squats down and looks at each of you very closely and begins examining you and smiles at Gunther in particular.
Smile back. A really big dumb smile.
And she'll look at you, John, tilt her head a little bit. Very well. So, I believe there's no reason for any of you to not be welcome down there. Leave your weapons and focuses on the table.
I will leave my weapons and remove the necklace.
She will pinch her necklace, which seems to be a very small vial that has some type of liquid that, given the dark nature of this environment, you can't discern what it is. And you see a flare across her eyes that Clover would recognize as detect magic. And she sees everything magical on all of your persons.
A coin lighting up.
Huh?
Clover's coin lighting up because that's her focus.
Then yeah. Magical
I'm not-
focuses are magical.
I'm not putting this down. That's what Clover's gonna say.
Then you'll stay here with it.
I'm not sure.
I will stay out here as well.
I'm not sure if druids have a focus like that.
They can.
Do I?
They do. It's either a focus or a component pouch.
Right. Okay. So my Raven's mimicry is my focus now.
That would be correct.
Right.
Whatever your trinket usually is your focus.
Right. I mean, I'm good to go if you want me to come or stay here. It's okay either way.
You're the ones who say you don't trust me. If all of you are just going to stay here anyways, that's fine.
Well, then I will come.
All right.
Okay. Clover, keep this, and I hand her my raven's feather.
Yeah, she'll pocket it.
I'll sign and remove my bracelet, which is my actual focus, placed on the table to follow with.
And I'm also putting down my big hammer on the table.
All right. One of the burly guys comes over, and all of you that are going down there, he gestures, arms up, spread your legs. Going to give you a pat down.
Oh, sounds. I like it more when the girls do it. But...
When he
If-
starts
eh,
touching
yeah.
me, I'm going to like reflexively like like he's tickling.
Alrighty. Now, what I will say is if anybody usually has a hidden blade on them, Whisper roll me a sleight of hand check to see if they don't find it. I'm going to roll an investigation at a +2. 7. I'll wait a little bit longer, just in case.
Are we saying for story purposes Lily's with the cart or in this room with Clover?
Marion's the one that controls her when she's not here. You tell us.
Oh fuck!
Would
I
she
forgot about
remove
that.
all of her magical shit, or would
Fuck
she stay here?
no, she would not.
Okay.
That's like
All right, then
she'd
she's
have to
staying
take off
here
her
with
socks.
Clover and you. All right, don't worry, guys. We're just splitting the party. You put the 3 squishies and the 3 tanks together.
We're squishy.
Well,
what?
2 tanks and then John.
That roll was for Mary, by the way. I thought it would show up in the chat, but it showed as Gunther. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to change your as to
Yeah, I
that
know.
person. Yeah. All right,
I
so
just
Mary
wanted to-
snuck in whatever she's bringing, no problem.
Mary's
Shit,
Yeah,
Mary's
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Oh god.
You would never know. It's fine. But anyways, they seem to go patting all of you down, and they don't find anything that you're trying to hide. So he takes a step back and nods, and the tabaxi smiles and gestures into this tiny building. Everybody who's coming with me, please step inside.
So it's me,
The halfling
Tolsh,
goes first.
and Gunther.
Gunther. Yeah.
Yeah.
The A team.
Gotcha.
And then we have the explosive team with the other 3.
Yes.
Right.
The E team.
If anything goes wrong, this place is going up like a Roman candle.
Yup. So, you all head over there. As soon as you're inside of the building, she pushes a sliding door closed and tosses a latch onto the side of it made out of steel that barricades the door fairly well. It's a very well constructed door, and on the back of it, it has bars of metal to fortify it, though on the outside, it appears to be just simple wood. And as it is barred and closed, she goes over towards the back side of the wall, opens up a cabinet, and says, "Does anybody want a little wine?"
Sure.
Doesn't tend to agree with me this time of day, but thank you.
I will
She'll-
have some.
She will pull a bottle, and as she's lifting it, you see that it leaves a sheath of some variety behind that she sticks her hand into and pulls down as a trapdoor in the center of this room opens up. She hands you the bottle, Gunther, and
Danke.
begins descending. You're welcome. She'll go
No one
over.
wants? Just looking at the others and asking.
Does nothing to Tolsha.
I will start drinking them. Just
Believe me, anything that could get me drunk would kill you in less than a few seconds.
oh no, I'm
The
a
Tabaxi looks
tough
at you
boy.
and raises her eyebrow. But anyways, you start heading down the cellar stairs, the halfling taking the lead and the Tabaxi taking the rear, allowing the three of you to walk with them. You wander down only about 15 feet or so, and as you reach the bottom, she touches against the wall and pushes against one of the tiles, and the stairs or the trap door above you closes, leaving this tiny corridor pitch black in nature. The only person who can see down here right now, Tolsha and the Tabaxi.
Like gripping onto Gunther's back, like one hand, just like trying to move with him.
I can't see anything.
Neither can I.
That is kind of the point. The halfling grabs. Who would be in the front when you came down here?
Got nothing to lose. I'd be up front. I guess I'm grabbing Gunther behind me.
Yep. The halfling will grab your hand. Don't worry, we will all walk together. You don't know the path. I've been here a couple of times. Everybody hold hands. So if Gunther's behind John, then Tolsha's in the back, and Tolsha, you feel a furry palm touch yours.
50-50. Does he grab my hand with the hand that has the wrist pocket ring on it?
Ooh, roll me a D2. On a 1, yes.
That's what I see. 50-50.
Yep.
Which one was yes?
1.
Okay. No. All right.
No,
I will act.
he's a little
like
bit more cautious than that.
Sure.
I'll act like I can't see
Okay.
in the
I need a
darkness.
deception check from you. Because she's watching you. You're right in front of her.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Really? Hey, why?
Unfortunately, out of instinct, when she grabs your hand, you rotate your head and make direct eye contact with her before going, fuck. She smiles in the dark. Now, you begin wandering through here, walking forward for a short period of time, then turning left, then turning right, and then you start taking multiple other turns and directions. At some point, you stop noticing exactly where you have traveled, unless, of course, you have, I think, the Wanderer feature. And you see a tiny light slowly growing and becoming closer to you as you are moving towards it. As soon as you get to this light, it gives off just the faintest hue in a 5-foot area where you see that this is a solid stone wall that does have a metallic slit that is roughly about eye height for you, Gunther. The slit opens and you see large green eyes and green skin staring through it. And a bright light that's almost blinding to some of you, piercing out at you all. Password. Periwinkle. The slit closes. The door opens, and you see this massive orcish individual that has deep claw marks and scars across their body that look almost necrotic against them, holding a brutish-looking great axe over their shoulder as they are larger than the door frame looking at you all. Told you to stop fucking around with that. And I told you, listen when I approach. And she pushes past you all, walking into a bar. You all look around, and this appears to be an underground bar, a beautiful one that has soft wooden chairs with cushions on them, a few benches at larger long tables that have different varieties of individuals seated at them. You see there are humans, there are half-elves, there are halflings, gnomes, tabaxis. Every race that you can imagine, aside from Drow, seem to just be sitting down, enjoying themselves at this establishment. There are these large tapestries that once in a while you notice an individual stepping out from behind them, and then another one, and then another one, leading you to believe that this probably has an underground system of movement capable to it. As you all step into the large area, the halfling wanders in, sits down at a table, and snaps his fingers twice. One of the wandering waiters comes over by and places a large cask of ale in front of him, and he looks at all of you and gestures at the table. Well, come on, sit down.
Take a seat.
Place down my large
would-
cask of ale as well.
As you sit there, he looks back at the waiter who just walked by. And what about the cups? What do you expect us to stick our nose under it? Yeah, I do. You'll get your cups. The halfling just smirks over at the guy. The tabaxi sits. The tabaxi sits at the end of the table, flipping a chair over towards it around, and leans over the resting back of it towards you all. And she looks over at you, Gunther. I would suggest that you don't start anything in this place.
Why would I start anything? I don't even like fighting.
She just blinks at you twice.
Okay, I will try. So what is this kind of place? What do you call it here? Is it like a tavern, or do you have like a? It's a good place. It looks like fun.
This place is the captain's quarters.
Ah, right. So who is the captain?
He is the person in charge of this organization's dealings here in Rexingtron, as well as, well, one of the leaders of them all.
I see.
This is the halfling speaking. The tabaxi seems to just be watching all of you very carefully. And a couple of pretty dirty cups are placed down at the table for all of you.
Take one of them.
The
Okay,
tabaxi
so,
precipitates and cleans them.
Thank you kindly.
So, do any of you have any sort of? Is there anyone I can ask here for? What you call it? Information, or like to find someone.
Wow. All three of you have good passives. Yeah. As you are asking this question, all three of you discern that the heads of several individuals in this establishment just rotate ever so slightly to listen to him as he speaks. And the Tabaxi smiles. There's always information to be had, at a price, of course, but right now, we're going to focus on your current dealings with the captain.
Okay. Sure.
And you're not one of us. Maybe, if the captain warrants it, we can deal with you, but that would be his call. You're allowed down here only because... What are you going by right now, friend? The Excavator. What an adorable name. The Excavator allows you and recommends that you all come down here. One of the waiters comes over to the table. This very beaten looking half-elf man whose left side of his beard seems to be grown in very patchily, but the right side seems almost full as he looks down at your table. You all want a meal?
Sure. Do you have like a big turkey? Do you have turkey steak? Roasted turkey. Oh, chicken?
We have the house meal. The excavator shakes his head. That will not do. If they have a special order, you can put it on my tab. Yes, sir. We do have chicken, but we mostly have potatoes. We can prepare them however you would like. We have corned beef available to us.
Okay, I will have some chicken with like a side of these. I've been trying something new. It's you take like a potato and you slice it into very thin slices, and you keep it. You boil it sort of in oil, and it becomes very very crispy, and it's very good. Yeah.
I'll
With some
see.
salt.
So, I'll see what we can manage. One of the guys at the other table looks over at you. You should try it with chive.
Chive? Huh. Maybe every... Yeah.
The waiter looks and just like shakes his head over at him, and the guy goes, actually, now that you mention it, make me some of those too. I want a basket of them. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Question out again, by the way, because we were traveling for 3 weeks, you said?
Yeah.
So during those 3 weeks, I did... well, Gunther wasn't really focusing on anything but trying to find new recipes and making like with that snack item that we got, the one that creates snacks. So if it's possible, he would have like built up a storage, well, a large store of these, crisps.
You're proficient in cooking supplies, right?
No, not at all.
No? Oh, geez. All right. Roll me a straight wisdom check for this.
Okay.
And remove, I'd say, 1 gold worth of potatoes, which is a fuck ton of potatoes.
Right. Okay.
That's like a good 5 or 6 pounds worth of potatoes.
yeah.
19. All right, not bad, not bad. You've managed to store up a... Oh, wait, now we also have to calculate the salt. Salt is stupid expensive. Remove another 5 gold.
Right. Okay. I was thinking about
Yeah,
using
salt's
the
expensive, unfortunately.
right. It was using that magic item that we got that created the snacks.
Oh, it can create them. It just adds no level of nourishment to the individual whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
To be fair, the crisps.
Real
I mean-
crisps, they can fill you up. Real crisps can fill your ass up.
Yeah. But these aren't. I mean, Gunther would be trying to make them just something that's really tasty, but doesn't actually add anything of value to you. He doesn't care about that.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So you've been experimenting using this magical item to adjust the amount of salt, the amount of crisp, the amount of potato, like, you know, trying, and you've balanced it pretty freaking well. You don't know how to articulate it to somebody outside of like a general description, but you know what you like.
Yeah. So I'll just have like like a bag of these or something. Or maybe have them just in my pocket and just constantly like snacking on it.
Absolutely. Oh my god. Now you're going to find out the downside to this magic item. It is cursed. A wielder who uses it for longer than a month gains diabetes.
Oh my god, that's a death sentence in this world.
Yeah. And greater restoration will remove it.
Yeah.
You got to be rich to get rid of it. Anyways, a few moments go by, and one of the large tapestries that hides some type of door gets thrown open. You see this fat Air Genasi individual storm out wearing a long apron with sweat beating down their face and what appears to be burn marks on their chest and arms. Just storming through the area and tosses a bucket of these crisps down in front of you, Gunther. Are you the asshole who wanted me to deep fry fucking potatoes?
Yeah, I mean, try this. And I give him one of the snacks. It should be
This
like this.
is completely
It's perfect.
unorthodox. You don't... That's good.
Yeah. It's my own cooking.
That's good. He takes another bite out of it. Wow. Then he takes one of his in the bucket. It doesn't crunch nearly as hard, but it's still like pretty good. That is also good, just not. I like them when they're still hot. That's nice. Oh.
Mm.
He looks over at the excavator. I think I need some smelting gloves. Why would you need that? Because the fucking oil hurts when it splashes on me. Fair enough. We'll see if we can't get you a pair. You're creating a deep fry cook in the Empire now.
Yeah.
He's going to try everything. Can I use this method on everything? Like, oh no. You created the
next
South
is
of the
bananas.
Empire.
Just wait till we get the deep fried Twinkies.
And individuals start walking over to your table, Gunther, and they start like grabbing some of the chips from the bucket and eating them, and people start taking like handfuls of them at a time, and they all like nod at you like, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. And you know, just eating and biting into them, and like everybody seems like really, really happy about this, and the Tabaxi's just smirking and shaking her head. From under her voice, Tolsha and John can hear, I can't believe there's a bounty that large on that individual.
Making friends. Buy snacks.
Yeah.
That's kind.
Hey, dude, the quickest way into anybody's heart is through their stomach. Like,
Yeah.
But anyways, as this is transpiring, John and Tolsha being less distracted by everything, you notice a man, half orc, steps out from behind one of the tapestries and seems to be moving not deliberately, sleuthily, but almost naturally, as if it's second nature to them. Stands about 5'6", 5'7", has a large captain's hat with a large purple feather attached to it, and a little bit of a chin-strap beard that seems like it wants to grow all the way, but the half-orc side of him does not allow it to. As he's walking in, he wanders over towards the end of all of your table and just pulls up a chair and kicks his feet up. Gunther, you only notice the individual when his feet land on the chair directed towards you. And the very nice, well-shined boots are completely unscathed. They have no markings, no muddlings whatsoever, and are perfectly polished and smooth on the bottoms. As the individual leans back in his chair and smiles at each of you. Hey there, guys. Seems we've made some friends. He looks over at the excavator. Excavator looks over at him and nods his head. These people were surprisingly very good at what they did. It's rare for us to find people that we don't know about that are good at what they do. He holds his hand out, and the excavator grabs a handful of the chips and moves them over to him. He takes them into his one palm, bounces them up and down, and just takes a bite out of them. So, were you able to retrieve the item in question? Yes, sir. And how confident you are that that is the right item? Very confident. He will gesture at John. This individual, and then gesture at Tulsa, and this individual heard it from the lips of the person in charge of it themselves. The captain will look over at the two of you. Well then, please regale me with whatever tale you wish for me to believe.
Yeah, so the information that was obtained told us that this was an ancient artifact. John will go into the details of the notes, just kind of giving a base idea of like the pedigree of the item and where it was found. But won't say anything regarding like what we've seen the item do since we've traveled with it.
As you begin talking, he just looks at a few of the tables, and the three of you discern very quickly that everybody was paying attention to your table, and now all of them are putting a good 5 or 6 foot gap between themselves and this table. They all just packed up their things and pushed over to the corners as all of you are in the middle of the room. This man seems to, without even using a word, demand the respect of every single person who is in here. It is unquestioned.
As John is doing that, like, after he's done, I will probably go into the more arcane means of it, that any damage done to it will cause a reaction. Any spells cast on it will cause a reaction. The only thing that doesn't cause reaction are things that are cast that don't target it.
Do you have notes on all of this? I'm not an arcane individual.
Does having notes provide a bonus?
He blinks at you twice. I invite you into my home without knowing who you are, and you have the gall to ask me before you even know what you are getting paid. Little tip, darling. Learn how much you're getting paid before you get greedy on me.
Fair enough.
So do you have notes?
Yes.
Well, let me see them.
They weren't a part of the deal. They're not here.
Well, let's rework this deal, shall we? Now they are part of it. Excuse me, Captain. These individuals do not know how we operate here. They are not members of our organization, and they were very cautious, within good reason. I would like to iterate again that I was impressed by them and their level of efficiency and professionalism. There was only one mistake that I discerned along the path. How major was this mistake? Possibly nothing. But also possibly, well, the repercussions would be on them, not me. They have 3 friends up top. I've already seen them. They did not wish to leave their arcane dealings to come down here. Like I said, they are decent at what they do. Then one of them has the notes. Which one was it? Was it the girl? Goliath? He'll start reading all of you as he asks that question, then he nods his head. Then it was the other one. Well, I'm not here to dwindle around. I have a business to run. Meet me over in one of our rooms, Excavator. Yes, Captain. Bring all of them. They don't wish to relinquish their items. He looks back. That's fine. Just double the amount of security that are on them. Yes, sir. Captain stands up, looks at you, Gunther. I appreciate the treat.
Yes, you are welcome. It's very, very good. I've been trying to perfect it.
Stands up and noiselessly walks back over to that tapestry and just steps behind it. The excavator looks at all of you. He's a little stressed right now. You understand the state of our business and what is happening. It's a stressful situation. I'm going to go retrieve your friends, okay?
Sure.
Very well.
Alrighty. If you all want anything, it's on my tab. He knocks the table twice. Everybody who understands thieves can't. Jesus, I have to keep saying that. Yeah. 2 knocks on the table as you're walking away is communication to everybody nearby. Keep an eye on them. And he walks off. So, all of you that are up top right now, would any of you wish to play poker with the guards?
Ooh, sure, why not?
Alrighty. Just give me one check. If you are proficient in playing cards, you can use that proficiency utilizing Well, whatever stat you would like to use in order to win. If you're not, just roll charisma.
I would like to use my intelligence to count the cards.
Are you proficient in playing cards?
Nope.
Then roll charisma. Only people
Damn it.
proficient get the option.
Damn it.
Clover, are you playing? All right, he has a +2. Alrighty. You win 2 gold, 3 silver, and 5 copper by the time that the excavator gets back up here. Apparently, this game's like really easy. The excavator wanders up to the 3 of you. Hi, everybody. You all can come down now. Bring all of your items.
Can I make it like? Can I insights like what the situation's going on down there?
I mean, you can try. This seems less like a request and more of a, you probably need to come down here.
All right. Very well then. And I guess me and Lily will also like grab everyone else's shit.
Yep. Clover, are you heading down with them?
Yeah, she would head down with them.
Alrighty. So, the 3 of you wander into the building and go through the exact same process in order to get further and deeper inside. Clover, do you have dark vision?
Nope.
Alrighty, so none of you know where you are walking or the path that you are taking. It is a winding path. As you spend a good 5 minutes traveling, you eventually get let into the establishment in the exact same manner as everybody else. And you see Gunther is sitting at the table with a bucket of chips that has a couple of people like sitting at the table as well, like grabbing the chips and like asking him about them. John, what would you be doing at this time?
Probably moved over to one of the tables of somebody who's like very uncomfortable with us approaching them, and just cracking out my own deck of cards and just, you know, shooting the shit with them, trying to get them essentially to drop the name of the excavator, like talking about, oh, we spent a week with this guy and, you know, these people come in here and da-da, you know, just giving them the whole spiel story of our trip to Rex and Trim, trying to fish out a name.
All right, roll me a persuasion or deception.
Ooh, no. 9.
People are very guarded here, and yeah. And what about you, Tolsha? What have you been doing?
Would have probably gotten like a meal, some of that corned beef and potato, as well as like a drink. Just getting some real food after spending a while on rations. Probably just
yeah, and
chatting
pretty
with
good
the
food.
maybe just small talk with the tabaxi. Nothing much. Just asking like any important sites to see in the city, any one that should watch out for, that kind of stuff.
Roll me a persuasion roll.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Well, there's a handful of very beautiful sites in this city if you've never been to it. There's Castle Ungebrock, of course. That is where King Dwendal lives, of course, as well as many of his royal court that are directly underneath him. That would be right here. The Candles is a nice little area where you want to avoid, like the plague. Never go there. They have the best security in the entire city. The castle is secure as well, of course, but that goes without saying. You do not wish to go to the castle, you will get fucked up. And if they capture you, it's not a pleasant experience. They don't kill you and they don't put you in prison. They torture you to find out exactly what it was you are doing. If you know any arcane individuals, the Academy grounds has quite a lot of good magic shops there, as well as just general purpose things. That would be right here that you could interact with. I don't spend a lot of time, though, within the Shimmer Ward itself. I usually spend my time in the Mudtop Ward. People out there are a lot more poor, but, you know, they're honest folk, hardworking, and sometimes they need a bit more of a firm dealing, since the Crown's Guard don't spend a lot of time there, if you catch my drift. So it makes us more capable of protecting everything that is going on out there. But yeah, that's those are the places I would recommend. The closer you are to the wall and the closer you are to the Shimmer Ward, the more dangerous it gets. Are you a religious folk?
I do dabble occasionally in religion, yes.
Well, there is. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down to the name of that place. There is the Vigil's Circle, of course. That is pretty far ways away from everything. I don't have any business out there, so I don't really go there. Though just between you and me, there are there's a few of those churches that we have interactions with. And he just slides you like a little playful wink.
I see.
Ah. But yeah, that's about everything we have. Anyways, around this point, everybody else gets into the establishment as you see your three allies are interacting with the situation in different ways. And I think this is where we're going to go ahead and go on break, everybody. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Before we jump back into the action, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in joining any of our campaigns that we do have open slots available in right now, you can do so by joining our Patreon, which is listed down in the description below. Where last we left off, the party had, under very shady circumstances, traveled into the capital of the Empire, Rexingtrum, managing to get past their layered levels of security that can detect magic passing through, and, well, their scrutinous examination of not just your paperwork, but as well as your cart and wares. Luckily, though, you found a very shady person to help escort you inside, and you managed to do so. As you were parking inside of a warehouse somewhere, and the excavator was walking away in order to go retrieve the money for the payment for everything you guys did, you blatantly said, "Yo, dog, no, we're coming with you." And he said, "Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Don't send one of you, or that person's probably going to die, you know, if you're trying to be really cautious. But come on, all of you, come on, it'll be fun." After you got there, you found out that this organization does have a individual capable of casting detect magic who examined all of you to make sure you weren't trying to sneak anything in. Seeing this, a few party members felt immediately uncomfortable and wanted to, not go and relinquish their goods in order to go down there. So, after that, 3 party members went down. Gunther became everybody's favorite inside of this tavern, introducing crunchies to all of them.
These crunchies.
Gunther's crunchies. Oh no.
Yeah.
I hate it. All right, so after introducing that to everybody, you had a conversation with the individual who's in charge of this faction of this organization that only a couple of you know who they are, named the Captain. And he seemed to be nice enough, but he definitely gave off an air of, don't you ever try to fuck with me or undermine me. At least when he talked with Tolsha. After this interaction went by, he requested the notes that your party has and gave the excavator permission to go gather your 3 allies who bring all of their items and weapons down. However, at the captain's request, they doubled the amount of security that will be here. So, looking around, you don't discern any security other than the massive fucking orc who is standing over by the door guarding it. But that doesn't mean there's no security to be seen. So, everybody is gathered up down here, and the party has a few moments while the excavator... I need to excuse myself. I'm going to go try to get us in to that back area. All of you chit-chat for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Very well.
So, how is everything going?
It's going good. We are testing out the crunchies. It seems like people are liking it. It's very good.
Good. I look to Tolsha.
Things are things are going well. The person that we are delivering the notes to and the item to will want the notes as well as part of the deal. So unfortunately, we will have to give those up. I really was hoping to go over them more. Oh well. Did you bring our items as well?
Yes. Box full of assorted goods.
Put back the necklace and my bracelet back on. Thank you kindly. But yes, from what we've been told, after the excavator returns, we will go to a back room and discuss payment. He doesn't seem like the kind of person to beat around the bush or fuck with, so we're likely going to get what we get.
But maybe you
Alrighty.
could also, instead of like getting paid for, just a regular kind of payment, maybe you could pay in other ways. Like, John, you said you were looking for this. What's it called?
Not a word that we say in places like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I was thinking maybe I could ask if they have seen any of my family or someone like them.
Well, they did say information is for sale after our current agreement.
Right.
It's an agreeable notion once we've wrapped up our initial business.
Sure.
Clover, as you're looking around for anything that might be magical, you
Oh, I was gonna re-roll
Start
that.
to
Rings of
notice-
luck.
oh, go for it then.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
That was where. Oh, never mind. 18.
As you begin looking around, you notice when you blatantly look, you get a lot of individuals that immediately look over at you and kind of like snarl in your direction and discourage you from looking directly. So you have to be much more discreet as you turn your head to listen to different people speaking. And from your periphery, there's a lot of illusion magic on an upper section of the wall. And now that you look at it, the walls to the ceiling in this place appears to be about 25 feet high, which is a little big. Admittedly, pretty big. And there's a lot of illusion that just seems to, like, encapsulate about 15 feet above your head all the way around up there. In addition to that, the door that you were at seems to have magic placed around it as well. This would be a... Oh, God. Schools of magic always evade me. The one that's more protective in nature, or like...
Oh, abjuration.
Yeah. Abjuration,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I would say it's
Abjuration
conjuration.
magic.
Abjuration.
Seems to be locked around the door itself. People in the establishment, one of the waiters has something that appears to be abjuration on them as well. And the Tabaxi woman who brought you all down here has a variety of different schools of magics associated with her, on different trinkets, different items that she has. And you discerned that amulet around her necklace, the very small little vial that now you can see, emanates with the same aura of magic as Tosha's.
That's odd. Okay. Who do you think's sitting on the second floor?
I will remind you that the Tabaxi is at your table. She hasn't left.
I mean, she's. Yeah,
You're
she's
more than
still-
welcome to say that.
Yeah, she's still saying that.
I don't know. Why? Is there anything interesting?
Don't care to share this kind of company.
I don't either, but this is just an odd place. Do I see anyone I recognize? Because that was the
Roll a
other thing I was
perception
doing.
check.
That's the other thing she was going for. Perception.
Actually, yeah, we'll just maintain your 18. You don't see anybody you recognize. But anyways,
That vial, now that we're in a more light, is there anything inside of it?
yeah, a red liquid.
I would probably know what that is, don't I?
Roll me an Arcana check.
25.
Your time with Mirian, you've learned how to notice a focus has necrotic capabilities associated with it. And you, with your own divine connection to blood, would understand if it had some type of association with that. It is not divine, and it's not exactly necrotic, but it is arcane. It is similar to yours, but it seems to be a bit more arcane in nature.
Oh, that's interesting.
This Baxi will smile at you, Clover. Aren't you a clever girl? Hmm?
Thanks.
She's very, very clever.
You didn't even gesture when you cast that spell.
I never cast the spell.
What?
She'll look at you a bit more scrupulously. Curious. A couple of moments go by and the excavator wanders out from behind that curtain, looks at your table, and just waves all of you towards him. Well, it would appear that our time here is concluded. All of you, be on your best behavior. I would hate if I had to track you down so soon after meeting you.
What do you mean by that?
She gestures towards the tapestry, stands up, and just walks away.
Huh. Okay. So, are we going to leave then, or what are we doing?
No,
We're being summoned. Let's go.
You all walk over to the halfling. He opens up the tapestry, and as soon as you get past it, you see that there is, in the nook in the wall, there appears to be a door hidden behind it. Not very, secretly hidden. It's more like we don't want anybody to see who comes and goes here as best as we can. You all can fit back behind this large, looming tapestry with no problem whatsoever. And as you open the door, you see that there is a corridor that has lit lanterns hanging from the ceiling themselves, each of them on separate hooks that you could easily just pick up and move down if necessary, or a spellcaster could quickly wave their hand and snuff each of them in a line. There are multiple rooms spaced out by about 10-15 feet each. And as you are walking past, there are different sounds of individuals inside of these rooms that I don't feel like I need to describe what people do when they relax in these environments. You continue wandering past, and the excavator goes over to a door that's already slightly open, and you see at the end of the hallway, there is this very large human staring down this corridor who has a nose piercing in the center of their nose that drapes downwards with a chain that hooks up to his right ear. And his hair looks to be beginning to recede at the top of it, but not well enough along to warrant calling him old quite yet. Just on that cusp. The door is open, and the halfling knocks 3 times, pushing it, and you see a large room that has 2 tables pushed up to either side of the wall and a centralized table that is circular in the center. There are stacks of paperwork that all seem to be piled up nicely into the tables on the side, and they have blank parchments placed on top of them with weights on top of those to hide whatever dealings would otherwise be seen from prying eyes. As you enter into this room, you see that along the walls there appears to be runic markings of various sorts that at a cursory glance are a bit too complicated for anybody to instinctually understand. And then you notice on the ceiling, directly past the center of the room towards the far wall, there appears to be a couple of looped chains that are connected to a static meat hook. Just placed up there for safekeeping, maybe? And you do notice the captain is inside of this room, already standing at the circular table. As you all enter in, the halfling closes the door with all of you inside. And as far as you can tell, only the captain is in here. Clover, there is illusions all around these walls right now. Every inch of the walls. Not to mention, you would detect the other school of magic associated with those runic markings as abjuration. Hello, I've already had the pleasure of meeting a few of you. You must be the smart ones. He smiles. Lily will just nod.
We didn't bring Misty, right? She's somewhere else, right?
I believe last time after Icebreaker did not bring Misty into a situation, he said for now on he will be bringing her with him whenever he goes to places. So yes, Misty would be in backpack mode.
Gotcha.
Or wait, no, she doesn't do that. That was ouch. Yeah, she would be crawling on the floor behind you all. Or in the bag of holding, like one or the other.
All right.
He looks over at her. Please take the notes out. Put them onto the table.
Lily will definitely begrudgingly do that. Because I bet she also wanted to look at this stuff as much as I did.
2 weeks. If you guys haven't looked at it by now.
Yeah, it's your own damn fault.
The only one did it was me.
So she starts placing the notes around the area, and he starts fanning them out across the entirety of the table, allowing them to be completely viewed as he is looking down. The halfling will flick his wrist, and you see the 8-sided octagon is placed up onto the table as well, and the captain smiles as he sees it. Not in a way that says he recognizes the object, more that he recognizes this has value.
What did the halfling say when he flicked his wrist?
Touche.
Got it.
Sounded like you were going to make a joke.
I'm surprised he didn't. I suppose this is the item. And he leans down and is about to touch it, and the halfling puts his hand in front of the captain's eyes. Yes, you want to read the notes first. You do not wish to look into the object directly. Or cast magic upon it.
Wait, so
Very strange object, very difficult object to handle as well. Dangerous, He looks at all of you.
Incredibly.
Very
I-
much so.
Yeah.
You can make it rain blood. It's not very nice at all.
It has also caused the original person who found it to disappear, and he's not been found.
Made everyone I know when I dropped it turn invisible.
The effects seem to be random.
I was giving an incredulous look to both of them.
Maybe the dwarf is still inside. Someone who hit it.
I'd prefer nobody do that now. So, you all successfully retrieved this item for me. He looks across at each of you, and you see now on his hip there is a rapier at his side that he leans his wrist against the hilt of, ready to grab if he needs, but not in a threatening manner. Or just a readied individual. And how much has the excavator offered to pay you for this job?
Mountains of gold.
The excavator just like gives you a look that says, really? Mountains of gold. Well, then that's going to come out of your coffers, not mine.
I'm trying. Wasn't it like 500 each or more?
Yeah, it was something high.
It was reduced after we got the documents that we needed.
Well, you understand that I had to create artificial documentations to sneak all of them into the city in order to, well, get them to come along. So I did reduce what I'm going to pay them. But we settled on a very simple 300 each. Captain just... Wow. Pretty payday for a job that goes very smoothly. Is that all of your usual rates?
Depends on the job.
First job together, at least as a full unit.
Well, if you all work together this well, I think what you were offering them was a bit of an insult. He looks over at the excavator, who just shrugs. 500 for 6 people. That's 3,000 gold. Minus, of course, for all of the work and labor. I did create them official paperwork that is indistinguishable. And that's fair to value at 200 gold each. But still, 3 times 6 is not very high. All of you, are you capable of staying quiet about this item?
Oh,
Yes.
Of course.
Not mention to anybody that you had it, interacted with it, seen it, or where you've brought it.
Yes, we're capable of doing that.
I believe the original 500 is in order, and that would be coming out of your cut. Yes, of course. Well, then pay them. He wanders around to the side of the table and starts looking at some of the paperwork, and the halfling says, touche, and he produces a bag of coins in his hand, and he hands each of you 50 platinum pieces.
Ooh.
Marion, please add that to Lily's character sheet.
As Clover gets handed 50, she's going to take 10 and hand it to Gunther. I think that actually concludes our business.
Oh,
Yeah, for escorting me here, getting me here. I still have to find my church after all.
oh well, no, that's. I mean, it's fine. You can. I mean, I will take some of them, but I'll hand you back 5 of them.
Thank you.
So, now that you have dealings with my organization, you are not a part of us, but I need to let you all in on our rules. The captain looks across the table at each of you. It's important you understand these rules. We do not tolerate insubordination. Rule 1, you don't mention the captain's quarters to anybody. It doesn't exist. Rule 2, if one of us needs work, you do not haggle about the price. We are fair. And then he gives a look over at the excavator. And we reward good work. Rule 3, if there is a favor to be had, you bring it to us first, and we will give you a good offer for it. Rule 4, if you come across anybody in our good graces or associated with us, breaking rules 1 through 3, you have my blessing to kill them. That rule applies to all of you as well. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
So, if that concludes our business, you're all welcome to leave.
We do have a bit of business here in Rexentrim, as I'm sure you can expect. We've traveled the whole way here. Not really.
Move a little closer to your mic.
Yeah, we do have business within the city, and being that you are who you are, we're probably more than a bit interested in information or services you may be able to provide us. Is this something we could discuss?
And what caliber of interest is this inquiry you have? Is it small time? Big time?
That is for you to determine, I suppose. I'll start with my own, I guess. Looking for an individual by the name of the handler, who I'm sure
His eyes dart immediately over to you.
Not aware is working with, well, I think you know who they work with by your reaction. Volstruckers.
We do our best to stay out of their way. It's bad for business, as you can assume, if they start sniffing us. out?
My associates here seem to be quite adept at dealing with them. I've taken a few off of this plane, if you get my meaning. And we are needing to meet this individual. Very troublesome finding him, though, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Of course. You expect me to believe that this group was able to silence a Volstrucker?
Well,
Do we still have proof of that?
The
Do you?
the communication device.
we also have his notes, his journal, his spell book.
Do you provide proof to this claim? That's a hell of a claim.
Hasn't asked for it yet, but if he's going to continue being doubtful, yeah, there'll be.
Oh, he'll be doubtful. That is, yeah, I killed
John-
somebody in the KGB. Like,
John has the notes. He doesn't have the spell book, but he'll reference Marion if the notes don't prove fruitful.
he'll hold his hand out for the notes and flick through them pretty quickly. Well, either you killed one or you stole from one. If you stole from one, you'd be dead.
I hold out
Hands the
the
back deal.
Volstrucker's spellbook.
Yeah, here we are, alive.
He
What is a
starts
Volstrucker?
running his. A look over.
Everyone just turns to Gunther.
I mean, he wasn't part of that.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Yeah, you're a member of the Empire, but you don't care about their politics and shit. Like,
Yeah.
So, the Volstruckers are similar to me and my organization, but they are the hound dogs to the Cerberus Assembly. They are mages of renown. They seem exceptionally powerful for the amount of years that they work. And they have the right to kill whoever they want whenever they want.
Seems a bit excessive.
Yes, that's why we stay away from them.
Right.
You know,
So
the handler you're looking for.
And you know,
I am aware of him. Yes. I am aware of some of the routes he takes. You have to be cautious when dealing with people who deal in information better than we do. Still unsure of how they do that. You're looking for information on how to find him, I assume.
that would be it.
You understand that's a hefty ask. Not cheap at all.
Well, I would suppose if anybody were to get close to him and find a means of doing so, that in and of itself would be quite valuable.
See, we operate perfectly fine just ignoring their existence. Avoiding them. And I don't know you all well enough to put faith that you'll actually be able to take him out. But I do. He smirks. I do know something that could warrant this information from me. Trade in favor. Somebody's doggo sounds adorable, but very loud. Seeing as you were a little hard up for 300 gold, I don't think you possess the money to pay me for that information. But a favor for a favor?
I mean, I would be more than willing, but I don't pretend to speak for everyone. Also, we might need to incorporate a few other dealings as a part of this agreement. A couple of our other friends are seeking things within the city as well.
What are we seeking?
Hear them out.
Well, I am looking for my my family. They are the Brunswald clan from the south, near Deerstock. I've been trying to find them for some time, but it's been no idea where they are. They just disappear.
He snaps his finger and points at you. That is why you seem familiar to me.
Mm.
Large humans, broad shoulders, relatively fat, or thick, depending on the gender.
Yeah. Sounds about right. We are big
He
boned.
has a keen eye for drinks of all variety.
Yeah. And snacks. So you
What
have
was their
seen
name
them?
again? What was their name again?
Of my family? Well, it's Beon, Ingrid, Valdemar, and Reinhard. They are my closest family, but the clan is bigger than that.
They passed by Rexington without stopping inside. I had the pleasure of a couple of people in the tavern whispering about what they heard from outside with their interactions with the gods. I might be able to sell you some of this information. At least point you in their direction.
Okay, well, that's appreciated. You want the crunchy?
Actually, yes. And I'll reach over and take one.
That will be my way of haggling from now on. Not haggling though, but just trying to get on people's good side.
And who else is seeking favor here? Is that all? Just the two of you?
I'm like noticeably staring over at Clover.
Oh no, I know where I'm going. I have to get to the Colors District, and I know where they are. But if you have jobs that continue to pay this well, I will be sure to be back here.
Looks over at you, Mirian, and you, Tolsha.
I'm debating if I should even mention the one thing.
One thing to rule them all.
That's your call.
What if I should ask for anything or not?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you too. I mean, he's gauging what type of job he's going to give you based off of the favors you are asking for.
Since Icebreaker's not here, I think Lily would take this opportunity to ask for information about her stuff. Because she's trying to track them down.
Oh, you mean would
Yeah,
she?
that stuff.
I can't say that she would reveal that shit openly with everybody here unless she's here.
Right.
She'll ask to speak with him in private, maybe, and then we'll
Okay.
gauge that as a different thing. Yeah, without Icebreaker being here, we're not going to reveal that.
Okay.
As of now, I think you and Tolsha are the only ones that know anything. So, Mirian, Tolsha, anything?
Okay, let's go for it. Willing to look for a debt settled, as it were.
Smiles at you.
Rather remove a price from my head before it comes to bite me in the ass, as it were.
Good thing you brought that up before you left this establishment. We have individuals whose entire job is to know the bounties on everybody in Exandria, in case they happen to come here. And we have an open policy that any of us can cash in on any bounty unless told otherwise. You've already met one of our huntresses.
Yes, and I overheard her mention that even Gunther has one on his head. So, if we're talking about what kind of favor for the job, preferably though, see what you could do to get rid of those bounties. Even if it were to come out of pay.
As it would. Then he'll look at you, Mirian.
All right. Mirian, I would ask.
Money is perfectly fine, if that's what you need.
Money is fine, but might as well take opportunity. I am looking for. How do I say this? Documentation of magical augmentation. Is that a good way to phrase that?
In layman's terms, please. He's not an arcanist. He pays someone else to do that shit.
Right. Papers describing the process and the experimentation on taking magical items and successfully attaching to the body.
Magic bullshit about augmenting to bodies.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you. That one I can't immediately answer if I have, but if anybody in the city could point you in a proper direction to find it, that'd be me. He leans back in his chair. On a scale of 1 to 10, as a whole, how would you gauge your group is at infiltration into places safeguarded by magic?
With no prior experience whatsoever, 2.
Thank you for your honesty.
I can get into magical places.
I don't think I can. I mean, maybe if it's turned into a cat, maybe, or something.
With
A
time,
shapeshifter.
Or not. Well, maybe a little bit.
I can get in places very easily.
With time, I could.
you can examine the
So
wardings.
gauge your number. Gauge your number with one another. John here seems to be thinking 2.
I'd say 8 or 9 for myself.
I would say 5 or 6 for myself.
I would say 6. Lily would probably say 8.
I will say 5 or 6, maybe.
Nods. Now, on a scale of Goblin Clan to, let's just say, Chroma Conclave, how big of a threat do you think you can handle?
Okay,
That's
this
one
is
to
gonna be
10.
interesting.
That's
Not sure what the
around
conclave
orcs.
is,
Like,
Let's Miriam will start listing off the things they have killed: a T-Rex, an ogre, a Volstrucker, giant
upper-
plant monster that consumed all living matter.
A carnival run by Faye.
I don't know, maybe young dragon level. I don't know how high that is on that scale. That's like god to a mouse.
Yeah. I once beat up
Exactly.
this really tough dwarf in the tavern.
Joey, with my collective knowledge, I'm going to do an insight check for the group itself and just gauge our actual combat potential and give him a fixed value that he's looking for.
go for it. Roll me an insight check.
Sure.
With advantage, because you've seen mostly everybody's capabilities thus far.
I just want to give him the figure he's expecting. 19.
20
20,
at advantage.
since you had advantage.
Oh, 20. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes. You all are level 7, correct?
Yes.
Actually, take whatever answer I was going to give Joey and make it one level higher.
Oh.
Because reasons.
Okay.
All right, we're fighting a Tarask. Let's go.
Ah, shit.
I'd like to ask you a question. Sorry.
So you want me to raise it from hard to deadly? Is that what you're saying? Raise it by 1?
That is what John would respond with.
Boy. Oh, he's breaking out the encounter calculator. I can feel it.
I am.
You act like he doesn't always have that open on another tab.
It's pretty quiet in this room, isn't it, Jero? It's just us.
Joey? Yeah, it's great.
Joey? Thank you.
So you would estimate this party could handle a challenging battle of any creature that is of ill intelligence very well. Probably something like minor devils this party could handle if they were to come up with your +1 gauge. Now, if you're dealing with intelligent creatures, you think this party can absolutely handle a Volstrucker if you get the drop on them. What, something like that you don't get the drop on, you guesstimate that at least 1 or 2 party members would die.
So I would say we're right about that threshold as far as our abilities go.
You've been underestimating everything else up until now, until this. That is quite impressive. Well then. I think we can find a job or 2 for you to do for all of that. Now, the information on the handler we value at about 10,000 gold. Even by asking a question like that, it draws a level of risk that needs to really be worth it for us. Sure, you can understand. The information that you are looking for, Gunther.
Yeah.
Usually, you don't reveal the personal significance of the request, because then we raise the price of it.
Oh.
We charge something like 500 for that.
Oh, okay.
If we know it's not important to you, you'll willingly pay it. More than if it's not that important and just an inquiry.
Right. Okay, well, here you are. I hand him back 50 platinum
He
pieces.
pushes your hand back. I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Estimate, Clover, another 500. Off the top of your head, do you know what the bounty for the 2 of you are?
I know mine is 500.
Doesn't the our excavator, didn't he look up Gunther's bounty?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he told us how much the bounty was.
I think he said 1,000.
That much.
1,200.
Shit.
You beat up a noble's son.
Yeah, like, that's it. Like, Tulsa did something actually fucking up. Like, you just hit a prissy kid with a bunch of money. Like,
Yeah, fair enough. Huh. That is just for beating up some sissy. Huh. That's
quite a fee. But money is money. We like money.
Right. So is the bounty dead or alive?
It's alive.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it
So
needed
good.
some type of magical reconstruction of its loins. I'm not quite sure.
Loin.
Did you rip that poor kid's balls off?
No, it was it was he was such a dick. So I just kicked him in the dick. So well, yes, that or maybe a little bit too hard. Yeah, he collapsed, and I didn't think he would get up again. Very, very quickly, at least. It was a little bit miscalculation.
Note to
Your
self.
job is
Good.
your request, looks at you, Marion, is a bit harder to gauge. If all I can do is provide you a conversation with somebody better suited, I can't charge you that much. But if I have to and can provide the actual literature you are looking for, that would be far more expensive. So we'll meet in the middle and call it 1,000.
Yeah, that's about where I thought this was gonna go.
Calculator work. All right, so 10
3,700.
plus 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 700. Wait, that's not how math works. 10,000 plus 1,500.
13,700 total.
Wait, so why does it cost Clover 500 gold when she only said, "Oh, if you're paying money like this, I'll probably be back"?
Oh, it's not
Hmm.
costing you. He's trying to gauge what type of job you all will take on to receive what you want. He's gauging a job so that you can get your 500 gold and everybody else can get what they're asking for.
Oh, she'll take way more than 500. He's offering more. She'll do
If
something
it's-
higher.
Right, and he'll take that into consideration, but you have to remember the job you're working on has to be this valuable to begin with. So you're looking for a job that would pay you, let's say, inconvenience fee 14,000 gold.
Sounds about right.
This
Or
is a
multiple
lot.
jobs that are up to that.
In the back of my head, probably would have gotten this for cheaper if we stole that statue for the Emperor.
Well,
I don't know. If we are
there's
not in
one
a
job.
hurry,
Oh.
if we are not in a hurry, we could set up like a stand in the market and sell some crunchies for some time. Maybe that will help.
While he seems to be like working this out in his head or on the table, wherever he's working it out, I am going to offhandedly
On the table.
I'm going to offhandedly mention, guys, we don't have to always buy at the first place we go to. We could go around the city and maybe see if there's some other offers available to us. I haven't been back here in such a long time.
Third rule of Fight Club: don't haggle with Fight Club.
I'm not haggling.
He's not haggling.
I'm
He's mentioning we have other options.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I am actually very much going to agree with John here. I have people who I know in the city, and I'm sure they'll have things for me to do as well. And I kind of value my time pretty highly right now.
Okay.
He stops what he is working on as you all are discussing this, and he'll look up. You all would rather take business to a less reputable organization? You know any organization in this city that is this professional and well prepared?
Church.
How many can I rattle off? Joe?
None.
None?
That are this professional? None.
All right.
They have magical wards to safeguard the people who are fixating their arrows at you at all times.
Okay.
They have
fair enough.
layers of protection. Like this is the head honcho thieves guild in the city. Now, if you're wondering organizations that have more resources than them, the Cerberus
I was
Assembly,
gonna say,
the Cobalt Soul, like, you know, the actual Dwindle Empire, like it's
I was gonna say there are other organizations in this city that are
yeah.
well or better equipped. Maybe
How many
they're-
of them can we actually talk to?
Yeah. Well, you can talk to anybody. It's a question of whether or not they'll work with you.
Or arrest you on the spot.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to know where your handler is. You ask the Cerberus Assembly. Just
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just making sure if there is
I
any
mean-
options, we're exploring them, but yeah. All right.
It is a quick way to get to the handler.
Don't want to go
let
that
me
way.
introduce you. Like just
Slightly too
they'll
direct.
look over. He'll look around at each of you. You know what? This is the offer I give you. And if you walk out of my establishment, the offer is off the table. It will not be brought up again. 2 jobs. Payment would be given to you all in the form of coin. And then you may pay for the information you are seeking. Or you can keep your money, your call. He hands a folded piece of parchment over across the table to you, John, as you seem to have been the haggler for the party, quote unquote.
Just flip it up.
There's one job that declares that a shipment meant for the Archmage of Domestic Protections was attacked on the open oceans. They sent a recovery team. The recovery team has picked it up, but the message from the recovery team did not reach the Martinet. As such, that shipment would be what they want. And the recovery team would have to be killed for it. It is estimated that the recovery team shall be in... That's a little too far south. Ice Haven. In just a few days. World map.
Oh, okay.
Right here. This is Ice Haven.
Shit, will we even be able to reach it?
You'll be
If we
able to get
traveled-
there, I assure you.
I'm not leaving Rexentrum.
We intercept it here if it's being transported.
You could intercept it at the gate. It will not be taking normal avenues back into the city because they are afraid of it getting tampered with.
Of course.
The second job listed is an assassination attempt that is being coordinated against King Dwindle. The coordinators are unknown to this organization. However, this organization you are working with value this job at 8,000 gold to kill the assassin before they get to King Dwindle.
How much was the Ice Haven one valued at?
That would be 4, 5, 6,000.
So stop an assassination attempt and intercept a shipment.
Correct.
Can't handle either of these. Are there
Can't.
moral objections or anything of the sorts?
I mean, stopping an assassination is perfectly fine with me, as well as
Do we just have to? Do we have to kill the person, or can we just stop the assassination?
I mean, killing a killer, it's pretty.
If you have to subdue them, and you think you can do that without killing them, that would warrant you a fair tip on top. So long as you deliver them to me or the Cerberus Assembly.
Okay. I think we take the second one if you guys want to take a job, but I have a lot of errands I gotta do in the city.
I think we'd have to take both if we're to cover our costs. I don't see any issue with either. Does
You can
anyone else
choose to
have
only
any-
take one if you all wish, but you'll have to scrounge up the other money to pay me.
Right.
I think I know a place that we can get a pretty good job or a pretty good paying job if we need a second one, but I think I really do not want to leave Raccoon Train.
I am happy to take the second one.
I mean, there's no penalty if we're to fail to thwart the assassin, and they were to accomplish the task, right? We're not the ones who are going to be paying for it.
I mean, this is the Empire. They will probably try to find a way to blame it on you or us. I mean,
Well, I mean, I'm asking our employer. Obviously, we want to make
My organization has zero dealings in this assassination attempt.
right.
We just
but
caught wind that it was happening. It has no
My-
ties to us at all.
My question is just rather, if we were to fail in these endeavors, there's not a punishment of sorts that's going to be executed against all of us, correct? If we were to want and take on both of these tasks, if one were to sidetrack us too long and the shipment were to get inside the city to its targets and we were not able to stop it, it's not something we need to fear reprisal for, correct?
Failure to complete a mission just takes you out of my good graces. Now, failure to complete a mission because you worked for somebody else, there would be consequences.
Well, I don't see an issue unless anybody else really has something against either of these tasks.
I do not.
well, I mean, sure, I need something to do, so yeah. I mean, other than making snacks.
Great, and we can maintain our presence in the city. Sounds good.
What
Can you
is
just type
the
up this?
what is the time period from the time they arrive at the Ice Haven, and what is their roughly estimate time to get from Ice Haven to Exandria?
With the means that we have prepared, 5 minutes for you to get there. They should be arriving in a few days.
And what is their estimate from them getting from Ice Haven to here? Provided they take conventional methods and not the out of the.
They would be taking my means.
I see.
So 5 minutes if they arrive.
Can I arcane guess if that's like a circle or something?
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check. You don't have that spell yet, do you?
Nope. That's a very high level spell. 7. 12.
Maybe. I mean, you don't know the Empire's specific capabilities, so yeah.
I assume that same method of travel will facilitate our return.
Of course.
So that means, Clover, if we do need to head to Icehaven, we will likely only be there for a day before returning to Exandria. It will not be weeks upon weeks.
Okay, I don't know. I just maybe she looks uneasy about leaving Rexington. She just doesn't seem very confident about leaving Rexington right now.
And what info on the coordinators are unknown to you for the assassination on King Dwendal? Anything known?
And coordinators are people who work outside of my organization. That is what I'm aware of. Who they are in particular. They've been seen once or twice, but only from the back. We did have a group I sent after them to intercept them, but they all died as well. That was before they arrived at the city. He pulls a note out from the pile on the left side of the room and pushes it across the table to you, Tolsha. Inside of this note is a cryptic message indicating that King Bertram is set to have a public appearance in 2 days from now. When he will appear... Let me go back to that map of Rexington. When he appears, you'll be doing so on the Academy grounds. So right here. Giving a speech about a potential new group of students that are getting elected into the Volstruckers organization. The assassination attempt is supposed to be at that point in time.
So 2 days on the Academy grounds would give us 2 days to scout out the location, look for methods and avenues of where they could attack from, be it from using a melee weapon or a ranged weapon or magic. Although I highly doubt magic if they're on Academy grounds, look protected by archmages. Likely something physical. Maybe something coated in poison. I'm just saying, like, this, thinking aloud of what I might do in that situation.
Not sure what these Volstruckers can do, but if there's a lot of them there, then should they not be able to protect the king?
If they can or can't is their business. I'm in the business of getting paid to stop this attempt.
Right, well, sure.
We're not doing this just to save the king, though it serves no purpose for him to die right now at the beginning of a war.
So who's paying for it?
That's not your business.
Oh, fine. You didn't say it was against the rules to ask who paid for.
I didn't. That's why you still have your tongue. He gives you a little wink and takes another chip.
Right.
See.
Well, I think that'll serve for now at least. Do you have a tavern you would recommend, an inn within the city where we can continue our residence? Someplace preferably
You're
under
welcome
your,
to.
not someone else's.
You're welcome to stay at this establishment. We have rooms. We can put you up. The doors have locks, though I'm sure you can assume locks mean very little to us.
I was hoping to actually be within the city proper. I don't see very many public rooms in this facility.
That is fine. Is there a section of the city that you wish to have rooms accommodated to you from? You're all on the map, right? Yeah. Okay.
The Tangles, preferably.
Preferably the Tangles, yes.
Why not Mudtop?
I would love to go there. I heard they have a really cool festival every year.
So is the
In-
rowdy parts of the city that are most fun, you know.
Oh, I mean, I like it there. You guys can go there. I just gotta go to Tangles to run some errands. I'll be fine. I'll meet back up wherever you guys go.
the Church of the Lawbearer. You all can stay inside of their church. We have dealings with them. They will respect your privacy and give you whatever accommodations you need.
Since that's a bit like I thought the law bearer would not be very happy with thieves.
Seems a little
Good
ironic.
thing he's not in charge of the church. He smiles at you.
Right.
I see.
I mean, if you're going to attack corruption from one point, what's the best place to start?
No, the lawbearer, they're the upholder of rules, and this gentleman has some very strict rules.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is true. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to stay somewhere with a good drink and good food and some,
Something
good
tells-
wenches.
Something tells me there's not going to be much of that at a church for you, Gunther.
No, that's what I was thinking too.
You'd be surprised how much money they take in their coffers and how well they eat.
I was more talking about the drinking.
Never heard about the blood of the Lawbearer?
Oh,
Is that for communion?
sounds
Sure. You're communing right now, right?
so it's some kind of blood cult.
He pats you on the shoulder, bless your heart, and just takes a couple of more chips.
I think we'll find a place there. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think, any other questions, friends? Are we concluding here?
Well, I want to pay for my the information on my family first.
It's going on a group tab, Gunther.
Oh, but can we not do that like right away? Don't you said you already have the information, right?
I'd rather lock you in for the work.
Ugh, but I'm already doing that. I mean, I suppose.
Please understand, I do not trust you as far as I can throw you, and admittedly, I'm not a terribly strong man. You'll earn my trust. One.
I can assume that
I am quite heavy.
I can assume that taking the deal, the policy of going for anyone's bounties on us will be probably still enforced unless otherwise told.
They will be temporarily on hold,
Very well.
so long as you take the deal. On success and payment, the bounties go away. If you fail and are not able to pay me within a week's time, the hold will be relinquished. Sure you understand, I'm a businessman. I need to
course.
make my money.
Sure.
I'll have... Actually, now I should edit his name since he's actually going to reveal his true alias. You are. The Excavator. A.K.A. Timeless Pete.
Don't mind me, I'm just Timeless Pete.
Timeless Pete will handle you all. And the halfling looks over at him, rolls his eyes. Please understand, we don't use real names with the people who are in this organization.
Okay.
Many of us have multiple names. You ever hear of a reference towards His Majesty within our circles, or the Captain, or the Pirate's Rage? That's me.
Pirate's Rage. Okay. So does that mean you are the pirate who is angry, or there is another pirate who is angry at you?
Actually, both.
Huh.
That's a different
Right, yeah.
story when you can afford a drink for me. But anyways, I have work to adhere to. All of you, pleasure doing business.
Right. Okay. Well, have a nice day.
Timeless Pete will escort you all out. You can just call me. You can just call me Pete, by the way.
Okay, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
I'm glad all of this could pan out for you all.
I am quite glad as well. Though I am interested in that Tabaxi woman from earlier, I would definitely like to sit down and talk to her about some things later, if I get the chance.
That is her business, not mine. But, of course, if you get into the good graces of the captain, you can come and go as you please. So long as you have work to do or work to offer. You got enough bums as you're walking out behind the curtain, and he kicks one of the stools, that just sit here drinking all of our liquor all night.
Well, I mean, can you blame them?
Well, Pete, I did want to give my thanks to you as well, even though it seems, at least in the eyes of your employer, that you might have tried to shortchange us. I do appreciate the work, the honesty, and fulfilling your end of the bargain. And for that, I do believe it needs to be rewarded. So I'm gonna
You stab him.
yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm sorry, it just.
I get it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I like doing
That's nice.
business with people. I'm gonna take out 100 gold into another pouch and place it into his hand. Just continue providing us the information that we need, and I think we'll have a very good relationship here in Rexentrin.
I think we will as well.
And then
By
I'm
the
going
way-
to steal his ring.
Sleight of hand it.
Yep.
There's no rule in place about stealing from other members of this organization.
18. Almost got that. down.
Ooh. Alrighty. Pete does not notice, but you see the Tabaxi woman looks over at you from across the bar as you do that, And she just smirks as she continues sipping her drink.
I notice her noticing, and on our way out, I'm going to move by her and drop her off another, let's say another 100 gold.
She'll let you place it there, and she'll move her ale on top of it to hide it before swiping it into her palm. Well, come back now, sooner or later.
Take care of yourself and keep an eye on our friend.
You all exit. Now that you enter into the corridor in front of you, they've ignited markings on the walls that illuminate what appears to be a very large square room that has short half walls that you were guided through the entire way all the way up here. You can see the exit is only about 50 or 60 feet in front of you. Tolsha saw the entire time, but it's mostly to make you lose your bearings than it is to actually take up a large section of the city.
Oh, I hate that trick.
It just walks you through a maze. It works, don't it? In the Empire, most people are fucking human.
Perfect way to disorient and confuse anyone.
I remember the first time I experienced this, I still can't see over the fucking wall. And he starts climbing directly over to get over to the exit. So anyways.
Gonna fall back next to Miriam and whisper in his ear. The Tabaxi woman's definitely piqued my interest. It looks like she might have a more arcane means of what I'd use.
Interesting, especially given what he talked about her being able to track people down.
Indeed.
Make sure you don't have an open cut in front of her.
Oh, don't worry. I plan not to have any kind of cuts near her.
Looking for the song that's supposed to be playing. Everything got fucking moved. I hate whenever they update shit, everything just changes where it is. Wait. Oh no, wrong one. Fuck it. Excuse me, guys. Oh,
Bless
sorry. Oh, that hurt. Oh,
Gesundheit.
thank you. So, thank you. Avita Zane. You exit out the same way that you entered in, going all the way over to your cart, and Pete will look at you all. You all are welcome to leave your cart here. It's marked so it won't be stolen from. I understand if you want to go pay for someplace a little closer to you, since you're going to be staying all the way in the Tangles. But that is your business.
I just have to go there. You guys can stay wherever you like. I'll find. Just let me know where you are, and I'll find you.
Okay, well, I suppose it would be best if we all stay in, at least somewhere close to each other. So, is there any other tavern there that is very good, or what is the
good
tavern you're staying at?
taverns. I stay here. I have a room.
Right. Well, I mean Clover.
Oh, I'm staying with my church.
You
Oh,
keep
well.
mentioning your church. I'm really want to see what church you're mentioning.
They're not gonna let you guys in. I can try, but I don't think it will happen.
I really want to see it now.
Yes, whenever you're trying to dissuade someone from going, don't make it sound like they won't let you in.
No, I mean I don't think they'll let you guys in. It's just fortune's favored.
I had absolutely no interest in the church until you said they wouldn't let us in. Now I'm just all sorts of interested.
Okay, it's just probably going to be expensive. You guys want to follow me? Clover's going to Tangles, and she has to go to, I believe it's called the Court of Colors.
Okay. So, you seem to have an idea of what this building looks like already. Would you like to describe it to me?
Oh, it's just the art district. Like
Right,
she's not.
but,
It's not
like,
actually the
it's not-
court. Yeah, it's just outside. Like she's not going inside the building. She's literally just going to that
Oh.
area.
Oh, okay, cool. So you all head over to the art district over inside of the Tangles. A large set of buildings, mostly are outdoorsy and open windowed, that you can peer into and see that they have different sculptures, different paintings, and different bits of art of varying pieces and types all around the area. At this point, it is well past dusk. You listen, and there are 2 bells that ring. That means you have 1 hour before curfew.
Okay. Look for an elf. It's about my age. She's just looking for an elf. And Joey, you probably know this person from my backstory.
I'm looking over your backstory yet again, but I have to whisper something that John would notice. Nobody else has a 20 or higher, right? Yeah, John. Okay.
Elf in this city shouldn't be too hard to find, unless of course they're wearing a hood or a hat or a mask.
Is there anything else about this elf?
No, he'd probably be at a stand or something. Probably doing a performance thing.
So it's a male elf.
Yes.
Okay. What's the hair color?
Brown.
Okay. Okay.
Keep an eye out for a brown-haired elf boy.
All right. Roll me a perception check. Everybody.
I'm just going to be assisting if possible.
And
Sure.
I'll
He's-
assist Clover.
he's around Clover's age, so teenager. Nobody rolled well.
Well, somebody got assisted. Were you assisting Clover? Was that John?
Yeah, I was specifically assisting Clover. So.
I'm gonna add 2d4 to that.
So 13. Add your 2d4.
16.
16. As everybody is walking through the area, you all hear a very wistful and happy whistling individual. And as you look down in that direction, there is a half elf that looks like they put on clothes to look a little nicer, and they seem to be packing up a couple of blankets and a couple of smaller crates that have unique paintings and markings on it. Apparently closing up their work for the night since there is a curfew in town.
Clover see him.
Yeah, you're the only one.
She's immediately gonna run over and give him a hug.
You hug him from behind, and he just what the?
Oh,
Laura!
Hans, I missed you so much. No, I can't believe we finally caught up with it. Where is everyone?
Oh, everybody is here, and they are there, and they're just everywhere. He like spins around and hugs you back. Oh, it's so good. You know, we were getting a little worried about you. We thought like maybe you fell a little bit. You know. Maybe you had to go back or something.
And as she sees the rest of the group coming up, there was some trouble on the road, but I made it. These are.
He steps in front of you and like reaches down towards his belt that has like a a dirty ornate dagger.
Oh no, these are people they helped me get here, but they're looking for a place to stay. I told them they probably wouldn't be able to get in unless they paid a high fee or something, but they insisted. Yeah, I know. And you get a look at this, and she's gonna open up the pouch filled with platinum.
That is.
Where's
Starts like
Lucky?
poking around. Is that real? Is that real?
That's real.
That's real. Wow. And he like takes one out, flicks it into the air, and as it's like hanging in the air, it pauses for half a second, and then it lowers down flat into his palm. That is amazing.
Yeah, it is. But where's Lucky? I have to see him soon, actually.
He starts rubbing the back of his head a little nervously. Let's get you somewhere safe first. All of you, we have a place. You can hang out there. They're cool, right? Like they're not, they're not idiots or anything like that,
They get a little rowdy when they drink.
Not all of us are.
Who? All right, and he'll step over. Hey, everybody, the name's Hands, and he sticks his hand out, and you all notice he has 6 fingers on his right hand.
Oh, I'm Gunther. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Yeah. So it's what'd you say, John?
Just John. Just gave his name. That's it.
Ready. So, you're all welcome to stay there. You're gonna have to pay up front though. It's gonna cost you 5 gold a night each.
5 gold a night.
Hey, we don't like outsiders. If you want to come in, you got to pay.
I mean, sure, but
To be in the company of Clover's friends, absolutely. Here you are.
so is this?
Here you go.
Why is it such a big fee?
Because I just made it up on the spot.
Okay, so it's some kind of fees guild.
Oh, we're not thieves.
No, I said
We're not
fees.
Yeah, we don't steal anything ever.
No.
I believe he was attempting a pun.
But it's a pun.
Oh, ugh, God, just like dads.
We're a church, and I hope you guys
Anyways.
understand that we need donations or types. We prefer to call them
Yeah.
types.
That's why
Also,
I'm
like-
dancing out
Nice.
here all day.
So it's like the taxing kind of thieves guild.
We're not thieves. We don't steal from poor people.
Don't steal from anyone.
Okay, so you don't take taxes.
Looks right at Clover.
I think the only one that knows that Clover stole something was John.
Good point, actually. Yeah, that's
John now has that thing, so I don't think he's judging.
yep. Alrighty, so he will escort you a few blocks away. You all pay the 5 gold, or
Yeah.
Paid mine, yeah.
hey, don't act like you're
Sure.
not flush with cash right now. Come on.
That money is already gone, man.
I'm sorry, can you break up
spells.
platinum?
Yeah, as soon as somebody else gives him 5. But anyways, you walk around the corner from where he's hanging out, and you see that there is a display of beautiful architecture that is ancient and gorgeous, and all of it seems to have various aspects of religious significance to every religion that is legal here in the Empire. And you slide through a back alleyway where there appears to be a kitchen to a tavern that you are passing by and through. And as he steps back there, he high-fives one of the cooks that looks only a couple of years older than him, human in age, or human in appearance, and just goes past, hey man, how you doing? High five, and they keep walking, and you go over to the back pantry room, and as you walk through there, you break out into a different alleyway, into a different building, where then you finally find your way to what appears to be a noble's home that, as you pass through the front of it, is completely empty of anybody, but it looks pristine and well kept. As you go into or behind the staircase to this noble home, you see that there appears to be a trapdoor leading into a cellar. as you all get down there, he claps his hands twice, and these torches ignite along the walls, revealing a large, beautiful underground church here in the Empire. There are depictions of, well, John, you already know, but a very pretty girl in many of the different portraits and sculptures around the area. There are a handful of other rooms where people seem to be coughing and being tended to by what appears to be clergy. And there's a few other people sitting around, banging on instruments, just having a good, happy time. And as you all come down here, Hands whistles loudly, "Hey, everyone, look what the cat dragged in." And immediately there's about 15 or 20 people who pop their heads out and all go charging after Clover, patting her on the head, hugging her, kissing her hand, and just all embracing her in the most lovely and loving manner that any family would do.
I missed you guys so much. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see all of you.
Oh, we
Fortune's
missed
favor.
Oh, Fortune's favored. Fortune's favor. And they look, do we have new initiates?
No. They're just friends of mine. They helped me get in the city after there was an interruption. But
Oh, everything's okay, right? Yeah. Like nobody hurt you. Like you're fine. Like you're okay.
No, I'm fine. Of course, nothing could
Yeah.
hurt me.
Of course, nothing could ever get to you.
But where's Lucky?
That's they all like kind of look over at Hands, and Hands kind of like leans a little closer to you. Lucky got caught.
What?
Yeah.
Where is he? Is he in the prison or?
He's not in the usual spot. Checked there to try to get him out. But yeah, apparently, someone in the, guard found out that, well, there's a different religion here, and they weren't very happy about that. And when they came looking for everybody, Lucky, charged after them, and, well, that's why we're in this new spot. Bit more hidden, a little harder to get to, but safer. The other one was a bit too public and open, you know.
Oh, I'm glad you're all right. It looks like it's grown a bit. Wow.
Yeah, it's grown quite a bit. Unfortunate part is, well, we don't know where he is, so we can't break him out. But we did look him up on a bail board. And they're saying 1,000 gold to get him out.
It didn't say what place that he's in. It just said bail. That's it.
We've looked everywhere. Yeah. It's just the bail board. You know, you go to one of their offices and they have records of individuals, and there he was, Lucky, and yeah, 1,000 gold. We've been saving up, and he pulls out his coin purse, and you see that it has two pouches. One, which is the publicly displayed pouch that he has as he's performing on the streets for a little bit of money, and then the other one that he, through his own means, acquires coins from people's pockets and places it inside of. I mean, today alone, I made 6 gold, so, you know, we'll get there soon.
Oh, she puts 5 platinum off to the side, and I'm sure there's like a basket thing that you're supposed to put it in, but put that there. I was gonna donate that, but I'll fix this Lucky situation. You all don't have to worry about it. We're gonna have everyone back.
Hey,
we take care of our family.
Whoa, yes, we do, and you're not going near the Lucky situation. Sorry, I probably shouldn't tell you what to do.
No, I'm saying we'll figure something out.
Yeah,
Clover
yeah,
is
yeah,
very.
yeah.
She's very good. She's very capable. I've seen it.
She's the best.
Yes. So you can. She's probably able to fix it. Whoever this unlucky fellow is.
We're not.
Oh, no, he's
we're not
actually-
risking her.
Don't worry.
That's
I have
no.
a few
that-
favors I can call in the city. But
Right.
I have to get in the shimmering ward tomorrow, and I don't think I'm gonna have a problem getting in there. But I do think they might. I'm looking at everyone, the other 5 behind me. Do
you need to
you
get
have
to
any?
the shimming ward.
Yes, tomorrow actually.
Yeah, we actually met a clan of goblins. They know a bunch of like secret passages into that. So I could ask a few of them, call in a favor, see if they can't, you'll have to go a smelly route, but I mean, what else is new, right?
I mean, yeah, so that works perfect as long as we can get them in. It's more to get them in. If I need to get in, I'll go through the front gate.
I would like a perception check from the other 3 players. Not John, not Clover.
The session advantage.
Okay. Gunther? Because there are 2 people here. Wyatt, you cool if I just say it out loud?
Yeah,
Some
you can
people
say
know
it
by
out
now.
loud. Yeah, you can say it out loud.
Gunther, as everybody is hanging out near her, you see this isn't just like a family love. This is an admiration. This is a aspiration to like idolize her. Speaking of idols, some of the sculptures, the paintings, all of them are depicted with Clover being an angel. And that's where we're ending the session today.
Oh, you
Players,
Interesting.
thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time. We will see you all next time. Goodbye.